Welcome, welcome, welcome. I believe we are already live. I'm trying to get things going on Instagram. Boom, it's ready now. I think we're ready to go. Welcome, my friend, to today's Lunch and Learn, where we'll be discussing the foods that you may or may not know are keeping you stuck on your health journey. Because I've talked to a lot of people and they feel like they're doing the work and certain things are going on. So if you're eating and consuming these five foods, it's very likely the cause of why you're not seeing progression. So, if you're looking to improve your health by losing weight, correcting your high blood pressure, correcting and controlling your diabetes, this is a live you'll probably want to pin, save, and share with somebody you care about. So, let's go ahead and get that started right now because it's not your fault. They've hidden ingredients in foods to keep you coming back for those foods. It was a complete trick to begin with. And so if you're consuming these, you'll want to rethink it if you're trying to control your high blood pressure, if you're trying to control your diabetes, and if you're on a weight loss journey and you want to get that under control so you don't end up with the other two. So the first on this list, and by the way, I'm Coach Robert, your favorite plant-based fitness and nutrition coach. So if you're consuming soda, energy drinks, or sports drinks, they tricked you. They made you think that you were getting something that was semi healthy or something that was actually going to help you in your progress, but it's not. Especially the sports drinks, they really get tricky with those. So, those three items are considered one in this particular conversation, right? So, if you're consuming sodas, energy drinks, or the sports drinks. And when I say sports drinks, I'm talking about Powerade, Body Armor, Gatorade specifically. What's the other ones that any of those variants, right? These drinks are filled with sugar, high fructose corn syrup, which is a higher form of sugar. They're filled with artificial colors. They're filled with preservatives, a little bit of water. And most of these ingredients are chemical compounds. So if you're consuming these chemical compounds, what's that going to do to your digestive system? What is it going to do to your organs? Right? So if you're trying to heal, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to control diabetes, which diabetes most people think is a sugar problem, which sugar plays a huge role in, if you're trying to control these things, consuming extra sugar isn't going to help. And then the energy drinks with the extra overdose of caffeine, definitely not helpful for you. So if you're consuming these drinks, especially if you're on your fitness journey and you're trying to stay hydrated, because that's what they sell these as hydration drinks. But how can you be hydrated when you're drinking sugar, which is naturally dehydrating? You see the gimmick? So you end up drinking more of it. And then you're overworking your kidneys and your liver because they're trying to process these chemical colors and these other chemicals that are in these drinks that your body doesn't even recognize and isn't able to metabolize. You see what I'm saying? So if you're trying to heal yourself, you have to get rid of these artificial drinks that are flooding your body with sugar, artificial colors, artificial um, preservatives. And on top of that, these drinks are high in calorie. So if you're somebody that's drinking these drinks and you're not moving as much, now you're creating an extra caloric amount that your body has to process. So this is where you end up gaining more weight because you gain weight when you are not burning the calories that you are taking in. And all of these drinks are just liquid calories. So if you're eating a high calorie food and then you're drinking these drinks because it's like, oh, it's just a small can, that small can is 300 and some odd calories. So the first food group that is keeping you unhealthy and keeping you stuck on your weight loss journey are the sodas, sugary drinks, the what are we calling them? The sports drinks and the energy drinks, because they're overworking all of the organs in your body, flooding you with additional calories and giving you additional sugar for your body to process, which is causing insulin sensitivity, which leads to diabetes, which leads to other issues, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. So I'm gonna keep this rolling because I'm trying not to talk all day today, but we're gonna keep it 100. And the next thing on the list we're gonna talk about is added oils, because a lot of people think that adding these additional oils are cool, but it's not. Even the healthy oils for somebody that is trying to lose weight, somebody that is trying to control diabetes, control their high blood pressure, these added oils are just additional calories and additional fat that your body now has to process. Let me check the comments over here from YouTube, because we're live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I actually need to probably pull up Facebook to see if I can find the comments for over there. So give me one quick second. And I apologize as we get into this. But I want to make sure. Boom. Now I can see the comments over there when they come up. All right. So added oils. What do I mean by added oils? Added oils mean you're going to have these in processed foods, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a second. But we're also talking about when you are choosing to cook your foods. If you're sauteing in oils, you don't have to, because now you're adding additional fat to that meal. And if you're already trying to lose fat, now that's extra fat and calories that your body has to process. On top of that, most of these oils are not able to really be digested and metabolized by the body. So now you're storing this extra fat. And this is the fat that gets stuck in your arteries. And then you couple this with the sugar that you're over consuming. And now that's how you end up with your arteries starting to harden. Let's say you end up with diabetes, additional high blood pressure, and all of these additional scenarios that we're looking to avoid. That's what this whole conversation is about, is learning the foods that are keeping you stuck in your health journey and wondering why we are ending up with large amounts of high blood pressure, large amounts of diabetes, because it's ravaging our community, and it's painful to see. So I want to equip you with the knowledge of what foods to avoid, or learn how to move around so that you can actually have the life and health that you deserve, so that you can be here and spend more time with your family. Because that's what this all comes down to. Because I'm here to help other people not feel what I feel after losing people that I love to preventable diseases. High blood pressure, diabetes, these are lifestyle diseases that can be prevented by making changes in our habits. However, most of us need to learn what these changes are that we need to make, because oftentimes we go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, well, you have this thing, you need to eat healthy, but they don't tell you what eating healthy means. They don't tell you what food specifically to avoid. So that's what this conversation is for, is to equip you with the knowledge for you to make the changes in your eating habits and your thinking, so that you can make progress and not become one of the statistics. Because right now, 1 in 4 African Americans is diagnosed with high blood pressure. Actually, no, high blood pressure is 46%. Now you're gonna make me pull up my stats, and it's ridiculous. Diabetes is somewhere up into the 40s as well. So 40% of African Americans have or will have diabetes. 46 will or currently has or will have high blood pressure. So being equipped with the knowledge of what food you need to eat to avoid these things are imperative. So back to what we were talking about with the added oils. So added oils mean adding oils to your salads. You can do vinaigrettes instead. You can do a oil. You can do a nut or a seed based sauce instead of using the oil based salad dressings. Don't There's no reason to deep fry anything right now, especially if you're dealing in a health crisis. So added oils leads to the line of diseases that we were just discussing. We're going to talk about dairy next. And I'm not going super deep into all of these, but we've done this before. Dairy. Why is dairy a problem, right? People think because it's in everything, we grew up on it, they say that it's good for your bones. Not the truth. So why is dairy a problem? Dairy causes additional inflammation in the body. Our bodies do not have the digestive enzyme to digest it properly. That's why you hear the term lactose intolerant. The lactose, our bodies aren't able to process. So that's why it disrupts your digestive system. That's part of it. It has added fats. When the body processes it, it becomes additional sugar that the body isn't able to process. So that's why it creates the inflammation. It creates additional mucus buildup because the body is trying to fight it as a foreign object. That's why most times, not only are you end up constipated, you end up with additional mucus in your chest and your throat because dairy is the cause of it. So if you're trying to fight disease, how are you going to add an environment where you're overstressing your immune system? You have excess inflammation and mucus where you have chances for disease to ensue. I'm just asking questions and giving you. So avoiding dairy, what is dairy in? Everything. When I mean dairy, I mean milk, cheese, yogurt, unless it's a plant-based source. The answer to all of these things and how to avoid them are to eat whole food, plant-based as much as possible. And I don't mean just vegan. I mean eating as much whole foods, meaning fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds as possible. As much of it being as raw as you can possibly stand on top of that if you want to take it to the next level. But eating them cooked is fine as well, especially if you're progressing through the journey of getting healthy. Because I don't expect you to be where I am today, tomorrow, if you're just starting today. I've been doing this for 10 years. So where we got comments at, let's see what if Instagram has anything to say. That's probably where I should have been in the whole time. All right, we got a few comments over there. We'll let them get caught up. So I'm hoping I'm making sense. So we got, okay, so if I click here, I see YouTube. If I click here, I see Instagram. And if I bring my phone back up, I will see the live chat there. And then we got TikTok here. All right, boom. So don't see any questions so far. So let's keep it rolling. Next on the list is processed foods. And this is anything that you are going to get in the middle aisles. When I say processed, it is in a package. It is a bunch of isolated parts of foods or chemical compounds that have been put together to create these food-like substances that we've been tricked into believing are actual food. Yes, none of this is your fault. Most of this is by design. Most of the foods that we have that are legal and available for you in your grocery stores right now are illegal to be sold in other countries. Not just they won't have it. It is illegal to sell them. So some of the same companies and some of the same products that you have in your grocery store right now, when you go across the seas, when you go to Europe, when you go to different countries, they have completely different ingredients to them. Completely different ingredients. Because our government allows these food companies to put the cheapest ingredients possible in the foods. So again, it's not your fault. However, once you get the education, now you know what foods that you can avoid. So when I say prepackaged foods, I'm talking about almost anything in those middle aisles. When you flip the package over and you read the ingredients list, and it's a bunch of scientific names that you need a thesaurus, a dictionary, and Google Plus to figure out. And then hopefully you got a scientist around to explain to you what all those things mean when you come across it. That's what I mean by processed foods. These are even in the vegan foods as well. Some of them are highly processed too. So just because something is vegan don't mean it's healthy. So I'm not just coming at regular foods or what people would call regular foods, because at the end of the day, it's all regular food. And if you really get into it, regular food would be the natural food that the earth provides us, not these man-made abominations that people are calling food, but they're really just food-like substances. Because once you've taken a whole food and you've isolated it so much, it's no longer that thing. And so now you've just put a bunch of it's a hodgepodge, it's a puzzle piece of different ingredients and different chemical compounds that have been put together to create this substance that they're passing off as food. These are full of added sugars so that they taste good. They're added with oils so that they taste good. They're added with preservatives so that they can sit on the shelves. And these preservatives, our bodies aren't able to recognize as nutrients, so it has a hard time processing them. So it overworks the kidneys, the liver, the pancreas, and the other parts of the digestive system. That's where you end up with constipation, and this is where you end up with the disrupted gut hormone, or not hormone, gut flora. We're talking about them being filled with added, and the lack of fiber, mind you, which is why it messes up the gut microbe, which is why it leads to constipation and other digestive issues. And on top of that, they're filled with calories, because you can eat a bag of Doritos, one of those little bitty quarter bag of Doritos, so that's 300 and some odd calories, versus 2 baked potatoes is 100 calories. Well, 2 baked potatoes would be about 150, maybe 200 calories for 2 baked potatoes. So you see the difference in eating whole foods versus eating processed foods, and just a caloric density amount. And people are eating these foods because they're considered to be cheaper, but you have to eat more of them because there's no nutrient value in them. And I know I'm kind of all over the place, but this is why it leads to overeating, to tie it back into why these foods are keeping you unhealthy. So you're eating these low cost, low nutrient, low fiber foods because they're low cost, and you're looking to save money. I understand it's tight, but you have to eat more of them because they're low in nutrients. So now you're eating more calories, and because you're working as much as you're working, you got families to take care of, children to take care of, social lives to live. You're not moving as much. So now you're consuming more calories than you're burning, which is going to lead to weight gain, which is going to lead to additional health issues. I'll read something from you right here real quick, and I think we may end it there. So this is from the book Holistic Health, African Holistic Health by Dr. Llaila Afrika, right? High sugar and a high fat diet. I'm going to read straight from the book right now. Step 1, high processed sugars and high fat diet, cooked foods, processed, and these rancid oils that we discussed before. It's going to lead to step 2, which is insulin resistance, which, let's explain that. Most people think that diabetes is a sugar issue. It's not a sugar issue. It's an insulin resistance issue. And insulin resistance comes because insulin is a hormone that opens the cell so that glucose in the bloodstream can enter the cell and be used as energy. Well, excess fat around the cells blocks that insulin, that hormone, from doing its job and opening the cell, so the body releases more insulin in an attempt to get the glucose out of the bloodstream and into the cells. So that's going to lead to insulin resistance, which is the step that we're talking about now, which is losing the ability to use the natural bodily made sugars, glucose, which I just explained, which leads to high serum insulin levels, which stresses your systems, your organs, the nerves, the arteries, vision, and reproductive organs. That's why people with diabetes have eye issues, they have nerve pain, they end up with swelling in their feet because it's poor, it creates issues. So these third step is the high serum triglycerides. These are the excess fats in the bloodstream. So this causes hardening of the arteries, stroke, and heart attacks. So you see how everything that I just mentioned, all of the foods that I talked about lead to these issues. Now, if you're like, Coach, all of this makes sense, but how do I change? And you need help with that. I'm here. Click a link somewhere, send me a DM, and let's start that conversation. Now, part of step 3, when you hit these high serum triglycerides, this is going to increase the size of your abdominal fat cells. This means that you're leading to clogged arteries, which makes the blood like slit thick like sludge. So now it's going to stress the heart, increasing your blood pressure, and it increases cellular waste, decreases oxygen to the cells. Decreased oxygen to the cells leads to deterioration of all of those cells and muscles, which creates an environment where cancer can create and survive. And that's where all of this for me began. Step 4, all of these other issues that we just led to are going to lead to high blood pressure, thick blood that can cause strokes, kidney disease, and heart attacks. Serum cholesterol, which is going to lead to additional high triglycerides. Step 5 will be obesity. Step 6, type 2 diabetes. And once you get type 2 diabetes, if you don't take the necessary steps, it leads to more of the like, because now you end up with the nerve damage. You end up with things that can become irreparable if you don't get it out in front of it. So making changes to your eating habits is one of the key steps to preventing that long list of outcomes that can happen when you're tricked into continuing to eat the standard American diet, which is full of sodas, sugars, energy drinks, added oils to everything, dairy, processed foods. Now you'd think because I'm plant-based, one of those things would have been meat. That's on the list, but I wanted to get these other 5 out in front because these are more important in getting rid of these than the discussion about meat. We'll save that for another day. But when you can eliminate these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things from your eating habits, and I'm not going to call it a diet, because when I use the term diet, people think of something that starts and ends. I'm talking about your natural everyday eating habits. When you remove these 5 things from those, you will start to see an immediate improvement in your health. You'll see an immediate improvement in your energy levels, in your sleep, in your mental clarity. If anything that I've said moves you to like, yeah, you know what, that sounds like me. I've been looking to make some changes and I didn't know what it was or where it is. Comment the word program and I'll send you some information. Any questions? Because we got Instagram, we got YouTube, we got TikTok, Facebook over here somewhere. I haven't been able to see the comments. Boom. Boom. There we are. So yeah, never eating the prepackaged vegan foods over there on Instagram. I'm managing Danby. Jeff say you need help. All right. So click the link in the bio on YouTube and let's book you a call to get you set up with something that you need. So I have a 12-week coaching program that helps you change how you think, eat, and move so that you can avoid the chronic diseases. And if you're looking for help, it's available to you. So until the next time we link. So on TikTok, I'm going to need you to click the link in my bio because my automated system doesn't work and I'm not able to send you a message directly. So on TikTok, click the link in my bio. YouTube, click the link in my bio. Instagram and Facebook, send the word program. Folliculitis sounds like it would be something dealing with the follicle. No, I haven't heard of that one. I would have to do some research. If you give me some time, old school, I could probably find something about it. So send me a direct message with that. I'll do some research and see what I can find for you. So today we discussed, for those that are just hopping in on the live, we discussed 5 foods that are keeping you unhealthy. These 5 foods are sodas, energy drinks, and sports drinks, just calling those sugary drinks. We've got added oil. So we're talking about canola oil, sunflower oil, palm oil, coconut oil, any kind of oil you can think of, even the ones that are considered healthy, the olive oils. Now, eating olives to get the healthy fats, absolutely necessary. Eating avocados. Are we back? Boom. Eating avocados to get the healthy fats from avocados, absolutely necessary. But once you start to isolate these oils from their fiber and other nutrients, it becomes unhealthy for the body. So my camera's telling me that it's time to come back and do this again later. So until next time, my friend, find your reason to eat healthy. Peace.